Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. In continuation of translating and explaining the verses of Quran, we are in chapter 2, which is called Al-Baqarah, and it means the cow. Al-Baqarah means. We have reached to verse number 40. There were different talks before that, and the creation of Adam and the story of first events that happened after his being created, and all those happening that happened. We have now reached to this verse, which is talking about the people of scripture. Of course, not all of them, only the people of Torah, the people of Prophet Moses, the follower of him, the Jews, the children of Israel. Allah is starting talk to them because inshallah I will explain it, but before that I should recite this ayah. This is ayat or verse number 40, and it is saying that Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya Bani Israel, uskuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaykum وَأَوْفُوا بِعَهْدِي أُوفِ بِعَهْدِكُمْ وَإِيَّايَ فَارْهَبُونَ. In this ayah, Allah is addressing children of Israel and telling that how they should remember what He has bestowed upon them, and how He had blessed them with so many blessings and provisions and so many things. In Surah Al-Baqarah or chapter Al-Baqarah, they are specially mentioned since this surah is sent down and revealed to the Holy Prophet in Medina. And here in Medina, the Holy Prophet had faced Jews people. These people were living around here, and they were, of course, before that, how they came here, while their promised land is not this. Their promised land was Palestine and that area, or Jerusalem. But many of them, they were living in which is called now Saudi Arabia, or at that time it was called this peninsula, Arabian Peninsula, which is called Hijaz and Najd. They are two areas, and Jews had come here, and they have made their dwelling here for hundreds of years, and they were waiting for the Prophet to come, because in the scripture, in Torah, it was given information about this prophet, the last prophet, that he will appear in this area, and so they made their dwelling and life here, and they were waiting for him so that they become the follower of him, and they become the obedience of Allah. That was the first thing that they had in mind. But later, when Prophet came, and he appeared and he announced that he is the prophet and he has a book and he has this kind of sharia, and these things should be followed, and so many practices that they were doing before and they were involved in that, all those were somehow or partially they were negated and they were prohibited, and it was said that now you should follow the rule which Islam is giving, and of course they were according to the book of Allah and the law of Allah, which was mostly it was the same as it was in the time of Moses, or after that the main Sharia is the same, main deen inna deena indallah al-Islam, the main stream of the religion is the same, but in certain points and certain features it differs from that of the Sharia which came down, or the commandments which were given to Moses, and that of which are given now to the Holy Prophet. Very small differences, and so when they were said that they should follow the new prophet and new sharia, and the sharia which is for the time being and which is revealed in the shape of Quran, they did not accept it and they rejected it, and they started to make an enmity character to the Holy Prophet, and there were so many things, and all those things which they did, and their character and their act and their reaction to what the Prophet said, it is told in verses from here, verse number 40 of this surah up to maybe 100 and more than that. All these verses are talking about the events and about the action and reaction of the people of Torah, or the children of Israel. Here in this verse number 40, Allah is addressing them directly, and is not conveying the message to them, but directly, as He has known them and He was talking to them, and He had talked to them in centuries before, and they were very known, something like that. They were familiar with this kind of talk from Allah to them, and Allah talked directly to Moses, and then here directly Allah is saying, Ya Bani Israel, O children of Israel. It shows that Allah giving them a special honor and a special address title is given to them, and saying that Ya Bani Israel. It is not a name of Ummah. That is not a name of the people of Prophet, like Muslim. This is a name which is a special, and it is a title which is which seems that it showed a very nearness from God to them, that He is addressing them like that, Ya Bani Israel, that O children of Israel, as somebody is familiar and he is talking to them as like tribal talk, or when tribe talk to one another, they talk with the name of their forefather and something like that, and in Arabic they say Bani Fulan, Bani Fulan is like this, and here Allah is talking to them like that, Ya Bani Israel, O people, O children of Israel, and saying what? Saying what Allah is reminding them and making them to recall what he is to say, is also something that it shows that Allah liked them and want them to become his obedience and be on the right path, though they were not of that level of obedience. They were not in the previous years and previous life, but here again Allah is telling them and ordering them and wanting them to become on the right path. And Allah is saying, Uskuru, remember, recall, what? Ni'mati alaykum, ni'mati allati anamtu alaykum, that special blessing. Ni'mati, here Allah is not mentioning to the general kind of blessing. No, he is saying ni'mati, and he is referring to this, referring this ni'mat or this provision to himself. That it means that he has special ni'mah or blessing for them, special bestowing and bounty for them. Uskuru, remember, ni'mati allati, that special provision and blessing, allati anamtu alaykum, that I had given you and provided you with, and you were blessed with that ni'mat alaykum. And what else? First this, when you remember and you be aware and you came to your place that you had in front of Allah, the honor that you had, if you remember, then you will remember other things too. This provision and this blessing and this bestowing from Allah is not without condition. Of course, it was not like that. There were conditions and there were a covenant between Allah and the children of Israel. And the covenant is explained in the verses which will come inshallah in this chapter and the other chapters. It has some details, and there were so many things, points in that they were told and they were written and they were given to them. And this was a covenant between them, between Allah and them, and it will be explained in coming ayat inshallah. But here Allah is generally telling them and ordering them, awfu bi ahdi, you fulfill my covenant, and you go with that and do what it was written in that covenant and that our agreement which had been accorded between Allah and the people of Israel. Awfu bi ahdi, if you do fulfill your covenant with me, ufe bi ahdikum, and then I will also in return make all that covenant to be fulfilled, and I will do with that, and I will go with that covenant too. It means that they were somehow wronging in that covenant, and they were doing not according to that covenant, and they were behaving on diversion to that covenant. And Allah at the last says that you be aware that who is to be awe of him. If you awe or if you are afraid of something, and you should be, that is only and only Allah. Wa iyaya, the word is put before, the object is put before, and farhabun, the verb is put after. And linguistically in Arabic, when this the statement is done like this and stated like this, it means that only and only. He is saying that only and only me you should be awe of. And if you are afraid, or if you fear, fear only God and be fearful from Him. And this verse is saying only this thing, and the next verse we will do it inshallah in the next session. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah bless you all.